But my real hot take is Scottie Scheffler is the weak link of the Ryder Cup team. And guys, what a freaking weekend in golf. I mean, Russell Henley locks in, takes down Eric Cole. Céline Boutier ends up winning at the ShopRite. Joaquin Niemann back in the winner's circle. But even more important than that, we got our major this week, the Women's U.S. Open, and Jack Nicklaus tournament at the Memorial, man. And I'm going to just let you know, if you're new here, I'm going to let you know we're better than Nightcap. We're better than Bob Does Sports Podcast. We're better than Foreplay Podcast. We're better than Pat McAfee. We're better than Dan Rappaport, Colin Coward, and whoever else you may think of. We're better than them. So we're so happy that you're here. But if you're new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Jeremy Davis. I'm a former NFL player. I'm host of the best YouTube golf show out there, Golf and Gospel. You check it all out at golfandgospel.com. And who do we have here as my co-host? The best PT in the Southwest, former Nebraska Cornhusker golfer, my dog, Nate Wong. Which both of us right now, we need to fix our golf games. So we played horrendous yesterday. But our fellowship and everything on this show has been incredible, man. Reminders for you guys, man. Please type in with Golf and Gospel Podcast on all podcast platforms. We're available everywhere you listen: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and more. Be sure to download, subscribe, and stay connected with us. And if you enjoy this episode, don't forget to share it with somebody, man. Share your friends, share it with your family. All these golf heads out here, share it with them. And I would say, if you don't like us, keep it a bean. Say something in the comments. Say, hey, I don't like your voice. I wish y'all did this better. Y'all should have talked about this. And we will take the critique and we'll get better. Now, if you just talking trash, just talk trash. Me and Nate probably going to debate you in the comments. But we talk everything in regards to debating within sport. We ain't going to disrespect nobody's family, how they look or nothing. We keep everything respectful in a healthy debate. But Nate, let's jump straight into it. The Charles Schwab really wasn't like excited to watch it. The field didn't look that threatening. But hey, Russell Henley comes back. 4 birdies in a row, takes down Eric Cole in the playoff. Didn't do what he did at the Ryder Cup. He didn't short that birdie putt. He made it. But Nate, let me hear your thoughts about just the Charles Schwab in its totality, as well as Russell Henley getting his 6th career.
It made me think of something you said when we were watching. You texted me. You're like, I feel like Eric Cole's giving it up, but no one wants to take it. So I kind of think, what if it was a stronger field? Like maybe someone would have snagged it. Like, you know, if Scottie was in it, or Cam Young was in it, or Matt Fitzpatrick, if they would have just snagged it way earlier. But Russell Henley is a guy. Like, he was on the Ryder Cup. He's a guy. And won it in the playoff.
Sure.
Awesome approach in the playoff. I mean, how could you short that putt? Eric Cole almost made that birdie. Like, it was like it burned that edge, and he was like, kind of like,
he did.
If you would have made it, man, that would have been real interesting. But Russell Henley's a guy.
Yeah, that'll been his first birdie in like the last 10 holes, though. Eric Cole was missing a lot of putts. He was just staying on the par train. And when I texted you, that's why I was upset. I'm like, JJ Spahn, you have an opportunity to take this guy down. Like, Eric Cole was letting everybody stay in it. Yes, absolutely. I think JJ Spahn had 4 birdies and 4 bogeys, so he finished even par for the day. But Russell Henley, man, he just locked in at the end, bro. And like I said, it was good to see him do this, because obviously Ryder Cup, everyone's a little disappointed in him shorting the birdie putt, man. Like, just give it a chance, roll it past. I know that was a tough putt. I'm not going to say like, oh, the simplicity of that putt, like, just make it. But I love how he was aggressive in those last 4 holes where he ended up finishing birdie, 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 birdie. And it's amazing to see him get his 6th PGA Tour victory. I think he moves up to 11th in FedEx Cup points, which is good for him. Like you said, Russell Henley is a guy. He is indeed a guy. He's not like one of those surprising winners or something. You knew it was going to come at some point. He had way, way too many top 10s not to get into the winners category this year. I mean, we saw how incredible he did last year at the Arnold Palmer when we took down Colin Morikawa. Even though Colin Morikawa made a few mistakes going down that par 5, I think, on hole 14. The chip in for Eagle, I think. Yes. So Russell Henley, he's familiar with winning. You know, took him a little while to get another victory. I mean,
that's actually pretty.
You get one a year. That's actually
you're gonna keep
great.
your status for a minute.
Bad. That's really good. Absolutely, man. So really happy for Russell Henley. I know we talked about him a little bit sometime last year on the podcast. How he had the transparency to say that, like, oh, I actually like moved the ball or something like that, and admitted it to the officials.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said, I want to be a responsibility to my kids. That like we're honest people in this family. So big respect to Russell Henley. Great victory, man. Great momentum going into the Memorial. So it definitely ended up being a fun tournament when Charles Schwab really didn't have that much buzz around it. But unfortunately for Eric Cole, man, just couldn't get any birdies, man. Kept burning edges. He was leaving the door open. I was like, man, someone's going to attack at some point. And unfortunately, it went against him, man. But like we said earlier, got the Memorial, man. One of the more fun signature events. It was the fourth hardest course. Murfield Village was the fourth hardest course on tour last year. So you got to come with your scoring clubs this week, man. I just want to talk about this. Nate, around this time last year, Scottie finished, looking at the Byron Nelson, he finished first. PGA Championship, he finished first. Charles Schwab, he finished T4. The Memorial, he won. U.S. Open, he finished T7. And the Travelers Championship, he finished T6. So this is when Scottie is typically known to start getting hot and start to come out victorious with a lot of things. We know Scottie has obviously been losing in final pairing groups. He had that little lull where he was finishing like 22nd and 25th. What do you expect from Scottie Scheffler this weekend, especially after taking a break after the Byron Nelson, not playing in Charles Schwab, going into
I don't know.
the
I mean, I
Memorial?
feel like I feel like he plays well in the beginning of the year too, because in 2024, I think that was when he had like the 7 wins in a row, and it was all in the beginning. This year he won early in the year, and then had his little, his little regression that he has. So I don't know. I hope the week off helped, but part of me is also like, I'm okay with it if Scottie doesn't win and doesn't do well the rest of the year. But
Right.
I just want to see some good golf.
Yeah. You know what? At this point, and guys, he didn't mean 7 wins in a row, but 7 wins in his total. So I don't want anybody going like Scottie didn't win 7 in a row and all that type of stuff. But I think I would be okay, excuse me, seeing Scottie win. Like I said, with Scottie, bro, it's just like Dallas Cowboy fans, man. They're just very obnoxious. You kind of don't want to see them win because of the fans, but as an individual, yeah, it's like, man, we don't feel like hearing y'all brag. And, we've been kind of honest about Scottie on this podcast. We know he's a phenomenal golfer. We know he's world number 1, but, he's not dominating, and on the PGA Tour like he has in 2022 to 2025. And it's funny because I feel like everyone's contradicting themselves because everyone keeps saying like, oh, well, Scottie's playing at like a B game, but then in getting second place. But then when I grade him out as a B plus, people think I'm an idiot for saying that and they want to give him an A. So I'm like, which one is it? Is it he's playing at a B game and getting second place? So if I grade him as a B plus, am I right? Or is he playing his A game and then the field is just getting better? So I think even fans don't even know how to like really conceptualize what Scottie is doing. Yeah, they don't. They just, if you talk about Scottie that doesn't glorify him, everyone gets upset with you. And I'm just being honest. Again, Scottie's a great golfer, one-on-one, playing phenomenal, but like, he's not dominating the final pairing group like we're used to seeing. Look at the PGA Championship. It was him, Alex Noren, easy win, PGA Championship, nothing like it. But then this year we see him lose to Matt Fitzpatrick. Not to say Matt Fitzpatrick's a bad golfer, but like the field's getting better. Matt Fitzpatrick takes him down, gets in the final pairing group with Siwoo Kim. Now, Siwoo Kim didn't win the Byron Nelson. Wyndham Clark did. However, he still lost to Siwoo Kim. So these are, these are just things we aren't used to saying. And again, I've said this before too. If I were to go out there and run a 4.43 my first 40 and then run a 4.45, I ran a worse time. Doesn't mean it's a bad time, but it is indeed a worse time. And Scottie is playing, I guess I won't say worse at golf. It doesn't make any sense, but his golf game has gotten worse, but not to like its totality, like he's a bad golfer. And I don't think fans like truly understand that statement because we only have to glorify Scottie or it's an issue. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Scottie win this weekend. He is very, very close. Hopefully the break does do him some justice, but we have seen him take breaks and still not come back and dominate. Like we have these expectations for him. Now, again, I'm okay if I see a Cam Young win, a Matt Fitzpatrick, a Russell Henley, a J.J. Spawn, not so much Wyndham Clark. But I don't like whoever wins, they win. Good for you. You've earned it. And like I said, it's to the point where like, if someone wins and it's not Scottie, you act like they don't deserve it. They also deserve the win too. They put in just as much work, as Scottie. But I would not be surprised if Scottie wins this week. And if he does and he remembers how it feels, it could get dangerous, especially when the next one's the U.S. Open. So That's my take, man. But there's still quite a few big names who haven't won this year. And what better opportunity to win this weekend at the Memorial? What two guys would you really want to see win this weekend, Nate?
I was thinking about that. I kind of want to see Justin Rose win. I think that would be cool. But granted,
Okay.
we don't know what's going on with the
win of the year.
McLaren irons. We don't know about it yet. So,
well, what's funny?
One that Wyndham won, or is it two before that?
I don't think he played in that one. I don't think Justin Rose was in that field. That field was super weak. Like I said, the next best player to play in that field, it was Siwoo Kim, who's world number 24. But Ian Poulter has been playing well with those clubs. And Justin Rose is way better golfer than Ian Poulter. So maybe there can be some transition with the McLaren Cubs with Justin Rose going. Yeah, it could. Because I was like, what is Ian Poulter doing at the top of the leaderboard at LIV Korea? And, obviously he didn't win by any means, which we will get into LIV Golf. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad to see Justin Rose get his second victory of the year. I mean, he had that wire-to-wire early in the season, which was incredible. Yeah, he was balling, but it wasn't with the McLaren stuff.
I think this would be a good chance for guys like Xander and Ludwig to start to prove themselves. But I think Xander really needs one. Like, he's been winless since his almost player of the year, almost his MVP season. His almost MVP season.
Wow. Well, remember he had the FedEx Cup fall. He had the FedEx Cup fall win, though.
Yeah, I mean, are we really? I mean, technically, Sahith Theegala has a win because of that. So I'm like, are we going to count that?
Well, I mean, we counted it for Scottie when he won Ryder Cup year because Keaton had all those guys come together.
Yeah, that playoff against Ben Griffin. That's right.
So if we're gonna, Yes. So if it's like we're gonna count it for Scottie, man, I'm gonna give it to Xander as well. But I get what you're saying. Like, he was so dominant in that almost player of the year. It's like, what do we have to do to get that back? And I think he's slowly getting back to that form. But like I've alluded to many times on this podcast, Xander does not play well on Saturday, and then he plays really well Sunday. And it's like, oh well, there's another top five. But it's like you never put yourself in contention to win. You just play so good Sunday as you put yourself into the top five. So I like those two picks. I mean, Xander, Ludwig, I thought you were gonna say Victor Hovland.
Dude, I don't know.
Definitely needs one like bad because like I said, I'm still not even counting the bounce spot from last year.
I'm about to say that. We'll see. He does well at the U.S. Open. He did well. He's done well at the PGA Championship. So like,
he does.
Dude, he was in JJ's group. That right? No, no, but that wasn't the last group. The last group was Adam Scott and Sam Burns, though. But he was in JJ's group. Yes. So he was part of like the last three final pairing groups. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
The two guys I have, when we look at the top 10 players, official World Golf Rankings, 8 of those players have wins except these two. One we already talked about, Xander Schauffele.
Dude, I kind of wanted to say Tommy Fleetwood.
Those are the only two players in the top 10 that don't have a win, bro. And we've talked about Tommy Fleetwood because you got your tour championship, you got a PGA Tour victory win, great. But now we're trying to see you, surpass that. Let's go get a signature event. Let's go get a major. And unfortunately, he hasn't been playing well. He missed the cut at the Masters, so that was very disappointing. And his game just kind of like in a lull right now. But he's such a likable guy. And Xander too. It's like, we want to see you win. Come on, like, Tommy, pick this thing up, bro. So, those are the only two guys in the top 10. Again, without a win, Xander just has to play good on Saturday, just a little bit, man. Like we talked about with Matt Fitzpatrick. Matt Fitzpatrick improved his putting, by call it like 20 positions. He was like right 109, got down to like 70 something.
That might have been Cam Young, but he's balling.
Look at him. Yes, and he comes and he beats world number 1 in the playoff at the RBC Heritage, goes on and helps his brother get his car at the Zurich.
What a year for Matt,
I mean, Xander, you just improve your scoring guy. What a year for Matt, for sure. If Xander just improves his scoring a little bit on Saturday, man, I think he will be in the final pairing group. You just kind of hope it ain't one of those situations where, like, dang, he swapped his Saturdays and Sundays and he plays bad on Sunday and good on Saturday. You just kind of hope he plays clean golf. But like I said, this was the 4th hardest course on tour last year. So, I mean, it's no slouch. You can't expect a big number like the Byron Nelson, or the Phoenix Open or anything like that. Like, your short game has to be prepared. You got to hit fairways, and that may sound like a cliche statement, but I mean, that's what's required in golf. Your scoring club's got to be there, your wedges, your irons. I mean, unless you're playing like Rory McIlroy at the Masters, who can miss all these
Yeah.
fairways, but still just do incredible
That's
scramble golf and
very
win,
It's
then, I
like
mean,
Bryson at the
more
US
to you.
Open and Rory at the
But
Masters. That not very common though. Yeah.
those are outliers. Yes, that's very, very much an outlier. But I want to move over to LIV Golf, man. Joaquin Niemann, man, the 27-year-old Chilean won LIV Korea for his 8th career LIV win, bringing his career earnings on the circuit, including year-end bonuses, not including his signing bonus that he had, to over $76 million in under 4 years. So I want to talk about this. In his last 3 tournaments, it consisted of a TA at Virginia, a T18 at the PGA Championship, which he played pretty solid for his debut major, and a winning career in Korea. What do you think this means for Joaquin Niemann? What do you think this means for Joaquin Niemann?
Because I feel like this year has been a regression based off just how he's done on LIV. Because last year he was MVP runner-up. He won 7 times, and
was it champion runner-up? But he was MVP of the league, but he was like the champion runner because Jon Rahm won.
The league champion,
league champion, yeah. MVP
so,
was actually Joaquin.
Jon Rahm was league champion, which I feel like Joaquin Niemann was robbed. And then, anyways, if Joaquin Niemann has 7 wins and wasn't league champion, what does that tell you? That means he's got to be the streakiest golfer in the world. Like there's like 12 events, so that 5 events that he played in. So the half of the other events
14,
that he played in, how bad must you have you done if you didn't get league champion? And I kind of think that's kind of reflecting into this year, except for his game is a little bit regressed. So he's just had 1 win, and then he's got like an 8th, a 16th, 30 something. I feel like you said. I feel like it's just we're doing like we're just doubling every number at this point. But I don't know. I just think he's a little bit streaky. I don't know if that's because LIV has a lot more traveling than the PGA Tour, and maybe like if he was on the PGA Tour, it'd be a little bit more consistent. Because you're going to all the corners of the world if you're on LIV. So
and PGA is more like we do this region and then this region and then this region,
that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a reflection of his game.
Good
is like,
good point,
dude. If you won 7 freaking times on any league, how bad were the other events that you just didn't get league champion? And Jon Rahm only had, I think, 1 win or 0 wins the year before.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think it was
that's
0 wins.
So
he had 0 wins.
7 wins. The league champion had 0 wins. How bad did you do in the other tournaments?
Yes, yeah, that's true, and that was the argument we just kept having. Again, they do it on a point system, so again, Jon Rahm was consistently anywhere from 1 to 6, almost every single tournament. So he just kind of outshined, Joaquin Niemann in terms of points. But like, if you look at it from a football standpoint, again, guys, we know football and golf are 2 totally different sports. But it's like, how does a 0-win guy get into the playoffs versus a 7-win team? You know what I'm saying? But that's just kind of how it works, in terms of the point system. But it's funny you brought that up because this just hit me too, because Joaquin Niemann has been very streaky since the end of last year. Even when we look at him at the DP World Tour, he missed like I think 3 or 4 cuts in a row towards like the end of his DP World career like season per se. So that was a bit concerning. Then didn't really come into the LIV season that hot. I mean, I think he had 1 top 5 early in the year, but after that, it's like, are you the guy who has the most LIV victories on tour? Because you're not playing like it. And I think he just, suddenly started to progress in this game, started to figure something out. I think it was sometime last year they talked about him having a new swing coach. So maybe his swing is now starting to formulate into victories or like at least good finishes or something like that. Because I remember I think that was a thing because he wasn't transitioning well into majors that he got a new swing coach. So, good for him to get a victory. But I will say this, man, I think LIV wins do have some sort of significance to it, but more so for like guys if it was a Elvis Smiley, a Caleb Saran, Michael Lasasso, when it's guys like Nieman, Rahm, Bryson, like for sure a win is fun, but if these wins or your gameplay doesn't transition to majors, we don't really don't think the win is as significant anymore. Because like a guy like Caleb Saran or Elvis Smiley, when they get their first like pro victory, we're like, okay,
or
this
Richard
is
Lee,
or Anthony Kim,
won,
like, oh, this is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Richard Lee, yeah. He didn't win. Yeah. Shout out to Hamilton High School, man. But yeah, it just don't carry the
That's a really
same
good
weight as
point.
it does for
Yeah.
those guys versus the Niemans, the Roms, the Brysons. Yeah. So again, it's good. You win your money. It does feel good. It is a pro tournament. I would not neglect NIV as a pro tournament, but the weight of your name and the transition to majors not working out, it's just not as significant as it could be as it
Yeah.
was again for Elvis
It's like
Smiley,
winning a
Anthony
FedEx
Kim, and
Cup
so
fall,
on from
dude.
there. So,
I'll say it's like winning a
but
FedEx Cup
yeah, go ahead.
fall. Yeah. Like if Bryson wins
For
it,
them,
if Bryson wins a
yes,
FedEx Cup
yes,
fall, we're
that's
like,
what it
we don't
seems like.
care. But if Caleb Surratt wins one, we're like, dude, you got some status. Like, that's awesome.
This is great. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
that
like,
is awesome.
dude,
Like when Saheep won his
dude,
first
he
one
was like a
in FedEx Cup
rookie or
fall, we were
like
geeked for
his
Saheep.
second year. You know, we're like, dude,
Yeah,
let's go. He's a guy. Yeah.
yeah, 1 or 2. Yeah. We were very excited. Great point, bro. But I would say this is the first win since July 25th since Joaquin Niemann won Live Golf UK. So again, good to get back in the winner's circle. We got to see this thing transition into majors. I mean, his best finish is a T8 in 2025 at the PGA Championship, and that's his only top 10 ever in majors. So again, congrats on the win, Joaquin Niemann. But once you get into this U.S. Open, we got to see that game translate into majors, man, big time. But again, we look at Joaquin Niemann's career: 129 PGA Tour stars, 2 wins, 23 top 10s, $16.1 million earned. But in LIV, 54 LIV Golf stars, 8 wins, 28 top 10s, $76.8 million earned. So, him listening to this podcast, because he's going to listen to it, he's going to be wiping his tears with $100 bills. So he's going to be okay. Nate, I want to go over to the new tour schedule, man, for the 2027 PGA Tour season. It's going to be popped up on the screen right here. But Nate, I want to know, what do you like about it and what do you not
Dude,
like about the new
when I
PGA Tour
saw
schedule?
that, the main thing was I would have been pissed if the Phoenix Open wasn't on the same day as the Super Bowl, which it looks like it is. Because I think the Super Bowl is also on Valentine's Day. And then the other thing, so like, I like
Yeah,
that the players and like the Masters and then the PGA are like about a month apart, even though the PGA is a little bit further from the Masters. Kind of like that month separation. So then it'll go
yes,
players, Masters, PGA, US
yes,
Open, and
I
then the
agree.
Open. Because like other
Mm-hmm.
than that, I'm like, I don't really have an
Yes,
issue with how the
good
rest of the
take.
stuff is set up.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I agree. I agree with those takes. Those are great takes, bro. The only thing I don't like is how the Cadillac is right before the players. Because the issue this year was too
Mm-hmm.
many signature events were stacked on top of each other, where you had big names withdrawing. I mean, we had Rory withdrawing from signature events. We had Scottie withdrawing from
Yeah.
signature events. It's like, what are we doing? Like, this is where Rory last year or 2 years ago was talking about, like, man, the best players should be playing in signature events, but guys are withdrawing. And, with how they're stacked on top of each other, it's like that becomes an issue. Now, I do think this schedule is a lot better. However, I mean, we're not going to see much, play coming to Cadillac because how much weight goes onto the players
Yeah.
being the 5th major. So it's like, how many people are really going to see play in that signature event? So that's one
Yeah.
thing I,
I
I
feel
I
like they're
don't like.
always gonna do that though. Like I think the PGA Tour needs to throw more signature
Yeah,
events towards the
yeah,
end of the year, so then it's like, hey, this is your last chance to play into the Tour Championship. This is your last chance to play into the, I think that's what they should do,
yeah,
and then that way it's like, dude, those end of the year signature events are gonna be way more exciting. Like think about like the Max Homos of the world or the Spieths of the world might be like, dude, or the Fowlers of the world.
yeah,
I'm just outside top 60 and they try to play their way in.
yeah.
You might actually see a dog.
Well, here's the issue with that. If you put signature event toward the end of the year, not everyone is in that field. So it's like, do you want them to feel like, oh, if we play in the John Deere Classic or the 3M Open before signature events, like that's really the last time maybe a Spieth or a Ricky or a Tony Finau really have a chance? Because unless you get an exemption, Finau's not going to play any signature events. Ricky's not going to play any signature events. So,
Yeah, but like,
I feel like if you put signature events towards the end, you can be ending some players'
yeah.
season
Well,
very, very
I think
early.
like
You get what I'm
the
saying?
guy,
If you
like the
go
Scotties of
ahead.
the world, the Royals are gonna be like, I'm not gonna play in it. You know what I'm saying? And then that way, like, you can bump in a Finau, and then if Finau gets like third, and
Yeah.
it'll be easier to get third. I'm
Hmm.
not saying stack it a lot, but like like a week or two before the.
Yeah. Yeah. But then think about this though. But think about this now. If we're thinking tour playoffs, and you say, and then like a Sky's like, oh, I'm not going to play. That's going to hurt TV ratings because it's like, dang, do we really want to watch hypothetically the Travelers, which is a good tournament? Like, dang, no Sky, no Rory, because they're getting ready for the because even think about this, Rory probably skipped the Travelers and the FedEx Cup because he skipped the FedEx last year. Now you don't see Rory for 2 events until we get to the BMW.
Yeah.
So that's the only pushback they might get if you try to put
I think those are fair
too close to the
but I'm
playoffs.
like, yeah, like they don't. It's not like those get good ratings anyways.
Yeah.
But if you're the PGA Tour, you're like, these are our signature events. We want these to get good ratings.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also just like that like we have more competitive golf closer to football season because like once football starts, it takes over. Like football takes over all the TV.
It does. No one's watching.
Yeah,
that's why
and
FedEx Cup
the Tour
fall. No one
Championship is
watches
always
FedEx
like
Cup
right
fall.
around football season, so it's like. If we have one more signature event right before the football season, before football dominates TV markets, I think, I don't know, dude. I this is why I'm not commissioner. I think you have fair criticism. I think you have absolutely fair criticism. We're not gonna have Scotties in these fields. You're absolutely right. You might not get a Scottie in those fields. So,
and then it's gonna be scary for like again, just make an example, like if you try to put a Travelers at the end, they might back out as a sponsor. It's like, man, if you're gonna try to put us to compete against football, then we're wasting our time as a sponsor. So now granted, this new PGA Tour schedule came out. It only gives us from February 4th, starting with the AT&T Pebble Beach to because a lot of people were complaining like, okay, where are the San Diego tournaments? Because no one saw Torrey Pines and stuff on like that. Now I don't know if they're still trying to fix the beginning of that because that will be playoff football. So I don't know if they're trying to make some adjustments with that, but they just gave us what they gave us. And I think this is a fair assessment. So I think it's a pretty decent schedule. Like I said, with the exception of like, man, you might have people skip out on the Cadillac Championship because it's right before the Players as the signature event, but it's way better than what they did last year. They had the Genesis and then the following week, the AT&T and then the Cadillac and then the Truist. Like that's exhausting to stack all those on top of each other. So, we'll let them know y'all take in the comments, man. Please like, subscribe first off, but we'll love to know your takes in the comments, man. Like, do you like this new PGA Tour schedule? Do you think it's better? Do you think it's stupid? Let us know, man. But here's our hot take of the weekend. Not necessarily a hot take, but something to really conversate about. This is from Top 100 Rick on X. He says, is there a future where instead of golf teachers, we use AI to coach us? Bryson was struggling, couldn't find it in the dirt, and then he used AI to diagnose his swing and then fired a 65. In theory, AI should diagnose swing faults with precision, correct? That's what Rick Goff said, man. So, Nate, let me know your thoughts about that, man. Do you think AI can possibly take over?
I don't know. Like, part of me thinks maybe with someone like Bryson, who's very like numbers based and stuff like that, probably. But it makes me think of like what Nelly said when she goes, I put away my GC quad or my TrackMan when I practice a lot of the times because I'm way more of a field player. She wants to.
Yeah.
AI is going to come up with Coca-Cola, but but they're going to give you numbers. They're going to give you like good analysis and biomechanics assessments and stuff like that. But I feel like it depends on the player. I think Tiger wouldn't do well with AI.
Yeah. I think also Bryson has like a partnership with like Google AR or something like that. So that could have been like a ploy. It could have been a ploy to like just go ahead and plug it in and be like, hey guys, when I used it, I shot 65. Cause I think Saturday he shot like 71 and then came back, shot 65.
Used AI between.
That could be a ploy, with him.
No way.
Yeah, he probably had to because I don't know if his swing coach is there, and then his caddy wasn't on the bag. It's funny. It was actually Andrew Putnam's brother caddying for Bryson at the time because I guess he let Greg Bodine get like a week off or something like that. So it's like, man, who can help me with my swing? I'm just use this AI. I know sometimes for me, I do like to trust the feel, but when that feel isn't working, I'm like, man, I'm desperate. And right now, AI is cheaper than going to a coach. This is what I would thought back in the day. Because shout out to Jim Park, because I've been playing way better golf because of the homie Jim Park. But back then, I'd be like, man, let me just put this in Chat GPT or Claude or something. Like, what do y'all see here? But it does. You do kind of see like technology, AI kind of replacing people in jobs. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's something to discuss, man, for sure. I mean, you kind of hope that isn't the case, but you
Yeah.
know, we'll see
Well,
how far this
the
actually
thing is
goes,
with
man.
AIs,
We'll see how
I
far it
think
actually goes.
AI is gonna be less
Go ahead.
stubborn. Like if a coach is like very adamant, like you got to try this thing, they're gonna be pretty adamant. Whereas AI would be like, oh, okay, that won't work, and you can cuss out AI a little bit easier. So if you're a player, so I think like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
obviously it's gonna take some jobs, I think, but uh man, I would need a player. Like
Mm,
I would need
yeah.
I feel like I need someone that's gone through it.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. It takes out the, I guess, less analytical perspective of things too. And on top of this too, I think when you have a personal coach, oh, there she is. There she is, my dog, Emma. Let me finish this last statement though. I think when you do have a personal coach though, they're gonna teach you to your swing. They're not gonna like
Yeah,
just try to give
maybe
you some
AI.
generic swing and stuff like that. So that's the reason why like I like my swing coach now, because like he's not trying to like change like everything about my swing. Like, oh, let's swing like this person. It's like, man, you don't turn like that. So we're just gonna make you be efficient with the swing that you have. But guys, we got my dog, the new assistant coach
Congrats.
at Western Kentucky University.
Thanks,
Yes,
guys.
former
Thanks, guys.
LPGA Tour pro, my dog. Emma Talley, man. We're here to break down the Women's U.S. Open. But before we get into the Women's U.S. Open, this picture is going to pop up on the screen. But man, what golf opinion makes you feel like this in regards to everyone else has this take, but you have that one outright take that you think opposes
All
that?
right,
And
dude.
Nate, I would
So
love for you to go
my
first.
take, my stats, but I was telling Jeremy this, and Emma, from what I understand, you're actually pretty good friends with this guy. I was gonna say JT's major wins are flukes, but then as I was like trying to, hey, but as I was trying to build my case for that,
I, I
but
said, be careful.
Be
but
careful.
Yeah, I said that. I said, be
I was supposed
careful.
to say sorry. I'm sorry,
JT
JT.
and
As
Emma
I
are
was trying to
friends.
build my case for that, because all I remember was the PGA Championship when he beat Will Zalatoris in the playoff, and Mito Pereira choked it. So I was kind of like, yeah, there's that. Yeah, no, but hang on.
Part of it.
As I was
It
doing
is.
my homework, I feel like my homework was like, all right, we're going to change Nate's mind, because he was world number one at one point, and he's had 15 wins. I think like not like 9 signature events. And his first PGA Championship was pretty dominant. He's just kind of going through a little regression. I mean, but it's golf, and I think I'm gonna change my opinion though. I think JT, you
Yeah.
It's kind of like
exactly, and
Spieth. I mean, Spieth, it was the same. They
Yeah.
both came
Speak.
out dominant, and then
Yeah.
they've been in like a little bit of, I would call it like a sophomore slump a little bit. It's
Yeah.
just like hard to, they were, Jordan and
please.
Justin, sorry, I'm gone on a rampage, but
Go
like Jordan
ahead.
and Justin, they both were, when I tell y'all they were dominant when we played AJGA together back in the day, like we were 14 to 16 years old, they were so
Hey, I played in
good. Like it
AJGAs
was just
with Spieth,
crazy.
so I
It
know.
was
You
those
know,
two. Yeah, they were just so good. It was Justin, Jordan, Oliver
Dalkey was up
Sargent,
there
which they just did a
back in the
big thing
day.
on him, which was cool. Yeah, Denny McCarthy, like all these guys.
I remember Anthony Palucci.
Anthony Palucci, I don't know
He
if
was
you
like the
remember him,
number.
but like
I don't.
he got hurt as well. He was actually better
Yeah,
than Jordan
he was like
Justin for a while. He was
yeah, he
better
was like
than
the
them, and
number
then it
one
kind
or
of he got
two
hurt.
junior golfer. I remember
Um,
Bo Hostler was dominant. Uh,
hmm
yeah,
Hostler was a
yeah.
nice, yes.
And
yeah,
then they went to college and they both dominated, and that's why they didn't stay very long. And then they got on tour and they dominated, and then it's, I don't know. I
yeah,
feel like real life sets in a little bit, and you start like trying to get better and better and better, and sometimes getting better, better, better. I don't know if that's the case for them. I'm
yeah,
just saying,
and
like tour life is a grind. Like sometimes you just be you, and it's good enough.
yeah.
But it's
I
hard
just
to
feel like
feel
if
like
you're
that
that
when you're out
hot too,
there.
like it's so hard to maintain, like forever, and golf is such a mental sport,
Yes.
and as you go
Mm-hmm.
through life, it's just that
Yeah.
stuff kind of weighs on you, and I don't know, like
Mm-hmm. And the golf may not be as important anymore. Like, I hate to say that, but that's how I feel. Like, as I got older, when you're in
yeah,
college and golf is like everything to you, and you
Everything.
have no responsibilities, and you're like paying your
stipend,
rent
yeah,
with your scholarship money. Like, you don't have any worries in the
That's what
world.
Allie.
And
That's what Allie
then,
said last week.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
like all of a sudden you turn pro, and then you meet your husband or wife, and then you have a child. Like things just change. But I think that's like
Mhm.
just the evolution of life too. Like has his third kid. I mean, you can't tell me his
Yeah,
identity in golf has
for
not
sure.
changed. You know?
I think it's a good take. I think it's a good
But,
take.
so
Yeah.
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 So anywho,
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
yeah, I do
do
have a
you
new
have a
one.
new one, Nate?
So
Or I can just say mine because,
no, no, no.
mine's a hot take.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but I
Yeah, go
feel
ahead.
like
It
I
sounds like we
needed to
could talk
bring that
about
up because I
for
feel
ages,
like,
though.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
for
also
sure.
like you would be a good person to defend JT, and I feel like we're not just trying to be here to like echo
Yes.
everybody's
Yeah.
opinions and stuff like that. Like I think the little Discord is great. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to force us
And
to
that's
say
kind of
something
why
hot
I
here.
was about to
So
go down
I
that
want the
JT
controversy.
rabbit hole, but I
Yeah.
was like,
But that's why I said be careful because
yeah.
you
No,
have
but that would
Emma
have been
who's gonna
great
be like,
because
hey.
no, that would have been great because then like Emma was here because JT can't defend
Yeah.
himself on this podcast because he doesn't show up, but Emma could have defended him and I would have been like, oh,
Right.
very okay with that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
I changed my own mind, so I didn't need Emma to talk me out of it. But I don't know, this is that hot of a take. I think a lot of people in the golf world agree with me. I think JJ Spawn shouldn't have been on the Ryder Cup. I think that's my hot take.
Oh, that's
He
a hot take.
It's very
He did
he automatically qualified, but
this is my reasoning.
yeah.
You technically
Yeah.
have 2 years
Yeah.
to build up your Ryder Cup
Go ahead.
resume, and in 2024, he had like
Mhm.
one top 10 or something. He had one top 5 finish and 4 top 10s out of 27 starts, and was ranked 98th on FedEx Cup. So, and strokes gain was not great. He pretty much played into the Ryder Cup with one good month of golf, and then what he did at the Players. So, I think yes,
Yeah,
and then
he
the
did
U.S.
do
Open
a
in that
phenomenal
kind of
with the
like
Players.
month of golf, he was super hot. But even after the U.S. Open, he kind of, I don't say disappeared because he was still relevant a little bit, but we just didn't hear from him.
Yeah, he had the playoff with
Yeah,
Justin
yeah.
Yeah, and
Rose,
then played off
BMW.
like 2
But
weeks
then
later.
I
Yeah.
feel like after
Yeah.
that it was like, he disappeared going in the Ryder Cup. I mean, he didn't do that bad at the Ryder Cup though, so it's not like
I'm okay
I
with
have
that
a
take.
very strong opinion of this, but it's more of based off what I'm saying now. I'm like, dude, I think this. I'm afraid this would be a fluke.
Yeah.
Not
I
bad
feel
about it.
like it's one of those things
Yeah.
you gotta take the players that are hot though, no matter what. And he
For
earned
sure.
his way,
I-
and he was
did.
hot. Like,
He
Yeah, I'm
was.
not gonna
He was.
disagree with
what
that
else
at
are you
all.
gonna do? Like next year, I'm pumped about. You know who I think's gonna make the next
Dude.
year's Blades Brown.
I'm waiting for him to make. Did he make his decision yet? If he's going to join the PGA Tour, or he's still waiting.
No, I think he I don't really know how it works because I talked to his dad, but I'm really confused. I think he joined, but because he's doing so well on Corn Ferry, he's
Yes,
gonna
he's like
still
13th right
play
now.
both. Yeah, because
Okay.
why would you not want to get like your full card for the next year rather
Yeah.
than like
You
trying to
risk it.
grind it out? You know?
Yeah, you risk it. If you do play on the PGA Tour and you don't win, I think
To get,
that
like,
becomes
nothing.
an issue to secure. So it's like, I'd
Yeah,
rather just
I
stay
don't
in the
really
top
know.
15 and the top 15 and then,
Yeah, I don't really know like the PGA rules versus LPGA,
for
but
sure.
he's been playing both all year and been playing
Yes.
well in both. So I feel like he's just going to continue to do that and just like.
And that was my
ride it
statement.
out.
That was my statement last week. I think he was 6 of 8 cuts made on the Corn Ferry and 6 of 7 cuts made on the PGA Tour. So it's pretty well balanced. And we talked about how well he did at the American Express for the first 3 days. Unfortunately, round 4 didn't go well for him, but he finished T18. But he was in that final
Yeah.
pairing group
That's
with
like
Scottie,
an
which was just
18-year-old dude.
super crazy,
Sick.
man. Yeah. But here's my hot take, man. Well, first off, this ain't really a hot take. I'm gonna continue to say this: the Ryder Cup captain should have been this guy. Should have been Stuart Sink. And I love Stuart. He's a great fan of mine. But my real hot take is Scottie Scheffler is the weak link of the Ryder Cup team, and he's always going to be an issue. So that's my hot take. That's my hot take.
And I think I do think actually a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
But that happens, like you look at some of the best players
Team
in the world
golf,
and
yeah.
they're not like, that's just not their week. And I
Oh,
think it's nothing to
shoot, okay.
do with team. I don't think it's
Elaborate.
team.
Oh, okay, please.
It's because whenever you hear Scottie talk about like his pre-tournament, like what he does and like how he chills with his family and like gets a lot of sleep and works out. Well, from personal experience at the Solheim Cup, like these girls are getting up at 4:00 in the morning and like doing all kinds of sponsor obligation dinners and dinners with the there's so much going on outside of golf that week. I think it's really hard to even like equate what it is like in a
Yeah.
normal week of golf and then what it's like at the Ryder Cup and Solheim Cup. Because there's so, especially on your own turf, because you have
Well, I
way
feel
more
like that was like
obligations.
In
than
New
you
York,
I would
yeah.
consider that like a
Right,
component of team
right.
golf. It's just like the other obligations you have to the team instead of like, oh, okay.
Nar.
You don't think so?
Not that week. Team
Yeah.
golf in college is so different because, like, you're just getting there like an hour before the tee time. This is nuts. I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like that. We were getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
and not getting home till 10.
Mm.
And then it's like, it's so, it was crazy. It was so
Yeah.
crazy. And
The-
that's just not his flow.
Okay, the only relatability I have with that is in the NFL Combine, we have to wake up at like 3 a.m. the drug test. And then you can probably go back to your room, get an hour nap. And then it's like, you gotta do all these tests. And it's like, all right, go run your 40. It's like, we preach getting rest before performance, and y'all don't even let us rest, dog. So it's just like,
Yeah.
some people don't have their best day because they have a routine before they like do all these things. But we're forced to do all these other obligations. Now, when pro day comes, we can have a normal routine and stuff and get appropriate sleep. But like, yeah, when routine is messed up, I mean, that knocks off a lot. The only issue I put with that is like, man, you're world number one, and Ryder Cup is
He
such a
still
big
beat
event.
Rory,
It's like,
though.
lead us, dog.
Hey, he still
he
beat Rory
never
on Sunday.
leads us.
But, yeah, other than that,
He
it was
did
like,
beat Rory
dude,
on Sunday.
why did you even
He did
show
beat Rory
up?
on Sunday. He did. Yeah. Emma, do you have a hot take?
Yeah, I went a different route. So, like, I don't know
Please.
if I went the right route,
It's
but
fine.
no more men's grills. Out. They're out. No more men's grills at these stupid country clubs. Like,
Wow.
you got to get out. My second one, I got two. They're both about like not players.
Yeah.
The second one is we have to go back to walking the golf course.
I'm okay with
No
that.
more carts.
I'm okay with that. I think I told Nate, it was last weekend or this week when we played, and I was like, I enjoy walking. It's just hard in Arizona in the summer because, like, yo, it's hot. But I
Unless
enjoy
like you're
walking.
older. Like
Yeah.
stipulations, obviously.
Yeah.
The reason
you're
why
65 and like
the
you're,
reason
there's
why
other
I
stipulations,
want
yeah.
carts is
Hot,
because
all those things.
pace of play. But I do think. Why do you
That's
say that?
bullcrap.
Is it because
That's
like you can just
bullcrap.
walk to your ball?
Yes.
Because
You don't have to like
yes,
cart
you
golf.
walk to
Yeah,
your
Emma's a
ball.
nice,
There's none
though.
of this chit chat. You walk straight your ball. Okay, so I play a lot of golf in like Europe and New Zealand, Australia, and no one really rides carts, and the rounds are less than 4 hours
Yeah,
because
but
no
you're
one.
playing
It's
with a
not
bunch of
like
good players.
It's still a
Leo.
social game, but
You're
you're
like,
not like these silly. No. Patrick's dead, and his no.
oh yeah,
Oh,
catching
Patrick just
strays
took a
out.
stray.
Yeah, I understand. No, Patrick's good.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
his dad. His dad. Okay,
Patrick's good.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we play with people all the time, and I'm not kidding y'all. Like, it is so much faster because people just walk straight to their ball instead of you got to get in the car, you got to get your club, you got to walk over there, then you got to go to my ball, which is like 200
Yes.
yards up there on the
Yeah.
left, and then
Yeah.
it's like zigzag. Whereas like when you walk, as other people are hitting, you continue to walk down.
What
the
about
rough, and, like,
courses
you just
that have
hit.
a long ways
It just
between greens
continues.
and tees?
That's a problem.
Yes, that is.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
It's
And
like,
most courses
yeah,
overseas aren't like that,
link
as you
styles.
know.
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess.
here, yeah, well, I guess in the States, yeah, it's like, dang, hole 8, and then hole 9 is like,
Whirlwind.
what course was it? I think Seville Golf and Country Club, when y'all played tournaments out here, and Whirlwind,
Yes.
they were putting y'all on cars to go to the next
Yeah,
hole
like
sometimes. It just,
Yes.
yeah. So
I
good
remember a
point.
tournament at college. It
Agreed.
was like
Agreed. That.
there was
Agreed.
Yeah.
so like you get off the green and just to the right of the green it was like the tee box, but then it was like that was the red tees. The blue tees are all the way up there, and it's like up this gigantic hill. And it was in Nebraska in summer, and it's like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh! So we just
that's
put our.
fair.
It's like, well, like you probably did this in college. You just put your bag down, grab your driver, and go up that hill. You know, like, yeah, I hated doing that.
Yes.
Never again.
Yes. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
I
I
like
agree.
that. I like that. Hey, let us know your thoughts in the comments, man. That was a fun little debate there, man. I love it, man. But Emma, I do want to talk about this real quick. Last time you were on here, we're talking about transitioning, trying to figure out what's next. Again, you just became the new assistant coach at Western Kentucky. What led to this decision? What impact are you looking to make both in golf and with these young ladies?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have been volunteering
I remember
with
that.
the team for a couple years. And first time nothing to do with me, but it's coincidental that they won back-to-back conference championships the last 2 years too. First time in school history. I didn't get to help as much this past year, so that's all coach himself. But because I had Mary, our baby,
yes,
so I wasn't really around this year as much as I was the first year. And college coaching. I'm not saying I'm never going to say a complete yes to college coaching, but one thing that's been hard for me is I love the player development side, but I don't want to travel because really it's like you're traveling almost as much as you do on tour. It's just a little different from the coach's standpoint because you have fall, spring, and then they go recruit in the summer. So like you're traveling a lot. And so that's one thing that's always held me back from college coaching. Well, I'm actually I'm the second assistant. So he has an assistant right now. And so I'm basically going to just get to do exactly what I love to do. And that's be a mentor to the girls, be like their friend, have them over game night, and then be on at practice with them and take them on the golf course and teach them how to play golf. So
that's great.
I'm really excited because it's kind of, it's the perfect situation for me. I've thought about like Alabama's head coaching position was open and I thought about it for a hot second, but it's just such a precious time in like my life right now, being home with the baby. So, Adam was so nice to like be like, how can we have you stay? And we kind of worked it out. So it's going to be super fun. I'm really excited. I love the girls. Like they're just so cool. The last 2 years have just been so cool to watch them grow as people and as athletes. And they really had never had anyone try to go pro, and the last 2 teams, they both had people go pro. So, like, it's just, like, such a cool environment to be around. Adam's done a great job with the team. They've been, like I said, they've been number 1 in their conference. So, I'm really excited about the opportunity.
That's awesome.
And excited to start.
Yeah. Who was the girl that went pro, the left-handed? Sorry,
Katie Craig.
Katie Craig. Yeah, I don't think she's on Epson this year though, right?
No, she's so cool.
Yeah.
So she played Epson Tour, but she is doing golf course design. So she's traveling around the country right now.
That's awesome.
She decided to, after playing Epson for a year, she was like, you know what? This lifestyle's not really for me, which I thought was very brave. Like, takes a lot of courage to be like, that's just not for me and only do it for a year.
Yeah.
But that's what she did. And now she's traveling around renovating golf courses with the company. So, like, she's killing it.
Good
and
for
it's
her.
really cool. Yeah. I'm really proud of her.
Good for her. Yeah, because I had her favorite on the Epson Tour app, and then I wasn't seeing her in the beginning of the year, so I thought, you okay? I thought maybe she, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe she lost her status, and now she's on Women's R Pro Tour, NXT, and then just kind of looking at her story, I'm like, what's the stuff she's doing with the course designs and stuff? So, good for her to make that decision. I enjoyed watching the little bit I did see at Western Kentucky and stuff like that. But in regards to what you just said, man, no better person to mentor these ladies, man. Just getting to know you for the last, 2 or 3 years, man. Emma, you've been awesome. So, I hope the golf continues to get great for these ladies. But if anything, when they go into the real world, they're going to be, great young ladies, man. So definitely happy to hear that, the Lord provided position, through Adam and stuff like that. So go Hilltoppers, man. I'll definitely be rooting for them
Tops
now.
on top.
Absolutely. Now, Emma, I did ask you this question too. So Ben Griffin says he spends about $50,000 a week on each golf tournament. For your time on tour, how much does a tour pro pay each week? Or maybe it varies depending on the tour pro. But I would love to know your take on that from an LPGA perspective.
Watched that video, and at first I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But then I really wasn't, because you got to think how much money those guys are making week in to week out. And he's including his caddy in that. So, that's the answer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's probably spending okay, you got to think. He's probably spending a couple $1,000s on flights because, I think his wife goes with him. So, like, a couple $1,000s on flights. Probably like $2,500 on a really nice hotel for like 8 nights.
Yeah.
Food, that's a few $100 right there. Not like a day, really a night. Probably they're probably spending $100 a night, so that's another 1,000.
Yeah.
But the main stuff is like most physios. Like he definitely has a physio on tour.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely has his coach. Like a lot of those coaches take like 10% at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Then you got your caddy, which is like the big one. You pay him a salary. You pay him per week, but then you also pay them a percentage. And like those guys are making so much money. Of course, it's that.
Yeah.
So, I was shocked that he put that out there because
Yeah.
it's kind of like the rest of the world's probably like, but
Yeah.
it's true. And
Yeah.
I bet he's telling the complete truth on that because
Yeah. I wouldn't
those
think he's
guys are
lying.
just making so much money. They make so much money.
Mm.
Because if you think about Nelly Corda, like I was telling Patrick the other day, the caddy has already made like, I think probably we're guessing, but he's made over 200 grand like the first 8 tournaments, you know? I mean, that's a lot of money to be
That was that
paid.
crazy stat that came out last year that Ted was
Mhm.
like made like 2.3 million or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's just
So
like, what the heck?
adds
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just crazy because I mean, obviously football's different. I mean, they provide our flights, they provide our hotels and stuff. The most we're probably spending is like if our significant other or family wants to come out, and then like sometimes we did fly out. Me and my boy Tyrell, we did fly out our PT to like do some work at night, like if it's being adjusted, maybe some dry needling and stuff like that. But it was never 50K. I will say that much. But I just thought that was a crazy stat, and it's granted like if he's won 3 times, so whatever he got from that purse,
Yeah.
probably was easy, for him and
Yeah.
whatnot too. Yeah, so it was just crazy. So I do want to know, like, so I mean, you don't have to say, but like, what was yours from week to week? Like, I'm sure you probably budgeted yours totally different than what he did.
Really? I mean, we just don't make as much,
Mhm.
so we're not spending as much on our caddy, right? Like they're
Yeah.
still getting the same percentage. It's just way less. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how much money a week I was spending,
for
but
sure. Yeah, you don't have to
it was
be, yeah,
it was definitely the same thing,
structure. Yeah,
couple thousand on like $1,000. I didn't have to pay for Patrick, so
yeah.
$1,000 on flights.
Who
We
did Patrick
split a
caddy for
hotel.
again?
He caddied for a few different players. The last player he caddied for was Gabby Ruffles. Before
Yep.
that, Jennifer Cupcho, Lizette
Yeah, yeah.
Salas.
Cupcakes with
Um,
Cupcha.
yeah, he caddied for a lot of great players. Caddied on a couple Solemn Cups. Like
Mm.
he had a great career as well. So we always split stuff because he was getting paid too. So even as a married couple, we were like, because we're caddies and players. We're both
So
our
yeah,
own
independent contractor.
CEOs,
Yep, yep.
1099 kind of people. So it's just a different lifestyle. So
Mhm.
we split everything so we could
Yeah,
keep it, you know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
looking right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. I
Mhm.
mean, I can't imagine, and you can definitely do things to make it not as expensive, but there's some things you can't
Yeah.
help. The flights are the flights, the hotels are the hotels, the rental cars are the rental cars. Like those are just expenses you have to pay. And that's why, especially on our tour, there's always this fight about like we want to make sure the 100th person is coming out breaking even at least.
Mm.
And because a lot of times like the top 100 make their card, and when I first got on tour, now it's not the case, but when I first got on tour, like the 100th person was struggling if they didn't
I
have
know.
sponsors. And
Wow.
that's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy. But
yeah,
now we're doing so much better. Our tours
yeah.
we're making so much more money now. We've got
Yeah.
a lot of people behind us. So I mean it's way different now. But the PGA Tour, the people that
Yeah,
lose
that's
their
true.
cards
Yeah.
are making millions of
Yeah,
dollars.
yeah, yeah. Yes, that is
Mhm.
indeed true. Yeah, I mean, even just thinking about stuff like, the Ford partnerships, the
Jam
LPGA
Eagle.
has
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
Because I think, yeah, well, I remember
Mhm.
before, like a lot of the ladies were able to like have rental cars for the week because of the
Yes,
sponsorship with Ford and stuff like that. So that's obviously huge. That helps put down some of the costs where you don't have to pay for a rental car and stuff like that.
absolutely.
Yes, yes. That's awesome. But yeah, I wanted to get over to the Women's US Open, man. Another major week. Super excited. But first off, again, shout out to Céline Boutier for, winning the ShopRite, man. I think she had tied third for the low round with 5 under. So good momentum going into the Women's US Open. But before we start, Emma, I want you to tell us about your experience with the Women's US Open.
Yeah, I mean, I played my first US Open when I was 14, so
It's
I was
crazy.
very lucky. My practice round, I just signed up on a random time. And then I walk up to the tee and it's Betsy King, Stacey Lewis, and
Wow.
Natalie Gulbis. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. It was such a cool experience. So yeah, I've had lot of amazing experiences. They treat you like royalty when you're
Hmm.
there. The food's always
Yeah.
perfect.
Where was it at the
Yeah,
year
I've
you did
had
it at 14? Where was it at?
I think that one was in Kohler. No, that was the second one. The first one was in Colorado.
Nice.
I
Okay.
forgot what course.
Oh, it's okay.
What's the main Black Wolf Run?
Okay.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, Black Wolf Run in Colorado.
Yeah.
But it's a sick place.
Yeah.
anyways, that was my first one. And then I played a few times in high school and then a few times in college and then a few times as a pro. So, yeah, my experience definitely I had a great experience. I will say, the US Open is supposed to be like, the reason why it's called US Open is they want it to be an open field. And I think one thing that the tour pros, after I turned pro, that I realized is it's like so hard for the LPGA Tour players. If you're not in the top whatever on Rolex ranking, I think it's 80 now.
Yeah.
It's really hard to qualify because they have so many they have so many qualifiers overseas, which for us, the British Open, you can, as the men, I think you can qualify over in the States. But for the women, if you want to play the British Open, you have to fly over there to qualify, which I did every time I wasn't in the British. So there's no other field other than the US Open that has international qualifiers except the US Open. Then you have obviously all of our tournaments, and they're 36 holes. So there's only maybe 2 or 3 that the LPGA Tour players can play, and you're flying across the country to them, and then you have 20 LPGA girls for 3 spots. So it's just kind of a shot in the dark if you get to play. And so that's why you see so many amateurs in the US Women's Open every year, because a lot of these college players, they finish school and they sign up for their US Open qualifier and they get to go play a practice round.
Yeah.
They get sleep. It's great.
Yeah.
Which is now, when I look back, I'm like, no wonder the pros hated me when I was in college and making the US Open, because I was one of those. Yeah, I was 14. I was one of those people. But as a professional, I see it much differently. So it's supposed to be an open field and it's supposed to be one of the best fields. But unfortunately, because it's so open, a lot of times you don't get the best field, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You have a ton of amateurs, and I'm not saying they don't belong.
For sure.
They earned it, yeah.
Because definitely some of them do belong. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of them did. But I do think there's some faulty system a little bit, if I can say that. I wish there was an easier way for, Rose Zhang. There's so many players. I should have looked at it.
Just snuck in.
Yeah, but there's Leona McGuire. There's so many girls that were just on the solo hunt. Can you imagine a Ryder Cup, the last Ryder Cup, someone on the Ryder Cup not getting in the US Open?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yes,
it's crazy. Leona's been on the last 3.
Yeah.
She did have a rough year last year, but it's crazy. So anyways, it's crazy, but I've always had a great experience. But it is crazy how hard it is for the LPGA girls to get into the field if you're not in the top. I think it's
75.
It's 60 for the.
It's 75 because
maybe something like that.
Something happened with the roller.
Yeah,
I think 75 because they said that when they switched, when they adjusted the next week for the Rolex, that's when Roseanne got at 74 and then officially got in there. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that too, because I was talking to Elena Sins, right? She went to Alabama. Well, you know of her, Emma.
What's her name?
Elena Sins. Yeah. Okay. Well, she went to Alabama. She transferred from Auburn, then went to Alabama.
Did?
Yeah. But she's younger than us. She's way younger than us. She's okay. Might be 24 or something like that.
I know her. Okay, keep going.
But I remember she talked about man, sometimes it is hard to qualify because the scheduling doesn't allow us to do it. Because I remember one year, what's the homie's name? She's pregnant now. Savannah Belobi, or Carson now, excuse me.
Yeah.
When she tried to go do an Epson Tour event, and then she was like, I gotta play 36 holes and got to travel to Utah. I'm like, you have to be tired. You have to be tired. And then the homie Nicole LaRuff, she did the same thing. She was like, man, she did a practice. No, she played an event, then she went to go did 36, and then she came over and did TPC Champions, which the Carlisle's the biggest event in the Epson Tour. I'm like, you have to be tired. So I know both Elena and Nicole, and they were talking about man, sometimes the scheduling doesn't allow for some of the better players to get into the field because of scheduling conflicts and stuff too. But no, I think that was very interesting insight to get from you, man. But obviously still very excited to watch the Women's US Open as well. But before we make our predictions, the last thing I want to talk about is obviously Jeeno Tittokun had a little bit of lull after winning in Asia and actually missed her first major of the year, but came back strong in the Mizuho and getting the top 10 in the Kroger City Championship. I want us to discuss, man, what are our expectations for her? Emma, obviously you having more understanding of the LPGA golf. We would love for you to go first in that.
She's a boss.
Yeah, for sure.
She's good.
Yeah.
She'll be fine. I told y'all last time, and I think she won the next week whenever I said that. But Yeah, she's fine. I mean,
She did win the next
that
week. Yeah,
happens,
Mizuho.
right? Yeah, like
Yeah.
that just happens. You can't just play well every single week and the
Hmm.
travel and like who knows? She might have been sick.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was sick. I'm just saying, like you never know.
So it was funny. Someone commented under our video and said she had like a minor wrist surgery because that
There
was
you
her.
go.
That was the issue for her last year, but she
Yeah.
still dominated at the CME Tour Championship. Still did good, the Annika, and then came in and won. So we're like, well, her wrist is fine. I think it probably flared up or something like that. So I think that was the thing that might have been the issue with Jeeno at the time. I'm hoping that she can get one because me and Nate talked about this maybe 1 or 2 podcasts ago. It's like, I think the stat was like, man, she has one of the longest tenures at War Number 1 without a major win, and the next person was Luke Donald. So it's like,
Yeah.
so now it's getting to the point. It's like, do regular wins matter for Jeeno now, or does she need to win a major for us to be like, like, oh, now Geno's for real. For like, we know she's for real, but we just keep winning like a ShopRite or, you go win. Like, does it really hold weight until you win that major? So that's why I'm kind of like hopeful for her. So it doesn't become those talks like, oh, well, yeah, she won, the 4 championships.
50.
Yeah, she won 9,
Yeah.
right?
LPGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won 50 LPGA with no majors.
She's won a lot.
Yeah. She's
In 3 years, I think she's only been on tour.
Yeah. So yeah, she's won. She's about to get. Well, has 9 now, I think. So and Nate was talking about it'd be cool to get a nice, double-digit number, but like we want to see Jeeno get a major. She's been close quite a bit. Like we talked about the Evian last year with Grace Kim. Like Grace Kim was making incredible shots, and I'm sure Jeeno was like, "What else do I have to do? Like, how does she just throw a dart with a 3-wood for an eagle? How she chip in for birdie?" And Geno's probably like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?" So it's just like, I know Jeeno for sure has the capability to win a major. But I just hope we just think that might be the conversation now. Like, okay, yeah, you won this tournament, but like, when are you going to win a major? So that's
Dude,
my take. I mean,
I
I'm
was
sure.
gonna
Well,
say,
Nate, what's your
I
take
think
on that?
Prime Tiger would have lost to Grace Kim on those last 3 holes off the same tee. It's like that she was crazy. That just doesn't. She literally caught lightning in a bottle. Like,
agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, I like.
Man,
what
it
more
was
could
crazy.
Jeeno done? So I mean, she still needs the win though. At the end of the day, like you have to come down with one. Whether it's like you play and you add up the scores and you accidentally win, or you like go and you snag a win, like Grace Kim did.
Take
So
it.
yeah, I would love to see her win.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm very hopeful for her, man. Like I said, phenomenal golfer. I hope that wrist does not become a problem. We know how U.S. Open, USGA, fields are. It's going to be tough. So let's go with our normal format. 3 predicting winners. 2 dark
We're
horses.
doing 3. Okay,
How many?
Okay.
Okay, all right. We'll let
No,
Nate.
go for it.
We'll
I
let
got
Nate.
you.
We'll let
I
Nate
can
start
do
it off
it.
first. Let Nate start off
All
first,
right.
and then
Okay.
let you
So
get that
I'm
one
gonna
first.
not
Go ahead,
do
Nate.
the big 3. So I'm not gonna pick Nelly, Hannah, or Hyoju Kim. But so I'm gonna pick Jeeno.
I appreciate him putting Hannah in the top 3.
I know.
I will
I feel like
appreciate
it's
him
too
putting Hannah in
easy.
the top
Like
3. So I would say that.
they're
I'm big
so
Hannah
hot
Green.
right
I'm
now,
a big
but
Hannah Green guy.
I think I'm gonna pick Jeeno. I think this is the one.
Yeah.
I think her game's trending in the right direction. I think your game's trending right.
So.
That
You do?
I think
I'm
that
like a
golf
little
course
bit
fits
worried,
her
and like
too.
I'm curious to hear what you think. Like,
Mhm.
are all USGA events just insanely hard, or is it just the US Open? Like the USAM is like just stupid hard, or oh man,
Yes.
like if the
Yeah,
US Women's
it's
and they
really
grow out the
hard.
rough like they do at the US Open and stuff. Man, that's crazy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think the one difference is like the U.S. Open now has become really long. Like
Yeah,
last year they played
this
6,900
yeah, this
yards.
year it's
That's long for
60,
That's
LPGA.
long.
7, 8.
That's what the Chevron was supposed to be, and they made it short. I was upset about that.
Well, that's because the rain.
The
But
rain,
yeah,
yeah, but still,
it still played long. Like a lot of my friends said they were hitting hybrids into every single
Well,
green.
I guess Nellie's an outlier
Yeah.
because she was like, man, I wanted
Yes.
to play longer. Yeah, but yeah, she's an outlier.
She is an
yeah.
outlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
funny.
I think Jeeno, I think that
Okay,
golf
well,
course
I
fits her.
appreciate the
So, Nate,
validation. I
feel
was
you.
just gonna say she's also like top 5 in like every stroke gain category. So, like you were saying, she's gonna be fine. I think she's 5 in CME as well, maybe 4. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
played well, and she's had a couple weeks off. So, like, I think
Yes.
that's for
Yeah.
like risk purposes too. I think that's
Yeah.
great.
Absolutely. I'm going to pick Hannah Green. I don't care if she's Rolex World's number 6. She's in the top 4 in my opinion, man. And because this event's in LA, she's already proved that she can win in LA, win the JM Eagle. And I've said this about Hannah Green's game. In my opinion, I think she's like one of those people like, I'm gonna just keep staying steady, and then Sunday I'm gonna pounce. I haven't seen her go wire to wire or anything like that, but she always has a pretty decent Sunday. And when we were last on here, some of my friends got on my head because I've been advocating for Hannah Green like if she was Nelly Korda. But everyone was giving me a hard time like, oh, you'll put Hannah Green above, Aki and Chizzy and H.J. Kim, and she's won and the field hasn't been that strong. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And everybody thought she wasn't going to do good the Chevron. Went out there and got a T7. So I really believe Hannah Green can come out here strong. I'm hoping that she wins because I just want more. I just love watching golf. Even though I said this last year, I was like, man, we could talk about Malsego a little bit. Malsego played good in every major except one. I think she missed the KPMG or one of them. But like this year's like Hannah Green has 2 wins with obviously H.J. Kim, Nelly Korda, and Jeeno. But it's like she's almost like, say this respectfully, like that year when Wyndham Clark was hot. They treating her like Wyndham. I'm like, Hannah Green's better than when Wyndham was hot.
No!
It was.
Hannah Green's been good for years.
It's just like we kind of like it's like
she always gets hidden.
The LPGA does that.
I don't get it.
They do that to
I
all
just like
the
keeping
ladies.
it fair, bro. I like keeping it fair.
I'm a big Hannah Green fan.
Last time we were on, but yeah,
man.
like you were like, this girl is gonna be a stud, and now she's a stud.
Yeah, she's so good. She's so good.
And me and Nate showed grace for the Shadow Creek because she just got back to the States and their course is hard. We don't even dock her for that. But every other tournament she's played in, she's played incredible, man. So Hannah Green's my pick, and
I love it.
She's won in LA already. I think she can win again.
And she wins all the time in California. Like that's her spot.
Yeah, I was hoping she was going to play in the Founders, but she was just getting back from.
I feel like picking Hannah Green is too easy of a pick. That's how much I like her.
Well, I'm about to be easier.
I think
I'm picking Nelly Korda.
There we go.
I think she's due for that. Yeah.
If Nelly goes 2 for 2, it's crazy.
How unreal
has she won the US
would that
Open?
be?
My God.
That would be.
Yeah, I'm like.
No. Nope.
She has not won the US Open.
Nope. She got T2 last year.
Yeah, she's obviously got the game. We don't have to talk about her game. Like her game's
pretty much
perfect almost.
Yeah, right. It is.
But I think Riv fits her as well and I think the U.S. Open fits her as well. She did not play well at
Aaron Hills.
Aaron Hills last year.
She just had a bad 72nd hold. Yeah,
she got T2. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
Lancaster was Allie's tournament.
Yeah, Allie finished second there.
Yeah.
But I think Riv fits her really well. I think Nelly is in a really good headspace at the moment. I think she is playing really well, and I think she wants
That's
it.
dangerous.
I think she is at that point in her career where like
That's
majors
scary.
are what she wants.
Yeah.
She's like, ShopRite. I'm not into that. Like, no offense to ShopRite.
That's like Rory. That's like Rory.
We get what
you're
saying. We're not disrespecting ShopRite.
Yeah, Rory wanting the Masters.
That's like Rory. It's like Rory. Like Rory's like,
yes.
Yeah.
I think like the majors are just gonna feel different to her.
Yeah.
Than the normal events.
If she gets this one, she needs one more for the career.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
So that I had to go for her because I can't believe how good she's been playing for multiple years now. And I also just think it's great for women's golf. I think
it is.
She's a hot babe, and her swing's a hot babe. Like she's got it all. Like let's go, Nelly.
Worst finish this year is a T8. So that says a lot about her game right there, man. Absolutely. Nate, who you got your second one?
Mio Yamashita, because from what I understand, Riviera is very narrow, and you have to be accurate off the tee. She's third in driver accuracy, and she's first in putting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she doesn't hit it that far. Yeah. So I'm kind of worried about the that distance component. But I'm also like, hey, JJ Spawn did well at USGA conditions last year, so maybe it can translate over to women's golf as well. So that's my second pick.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like that, man. I hope this person got her gluten allergy fixed because she said she was after this tournament. I'm going Angel Yin, dog, and she hasn't missed a cut this year. She's been very, very consistent, 8 of 8 this year. And we know how important putting is here. I go back to the Genesis Invitational, how Jacob Bridgman did putting, ended up being victorious, beating out Rory, coming out to the final. She's ranked 3rd in putts per green regulation, and she's ranked 17th in both birdies and eagles. Now, my fear that you just talked about, Nate, which is a great point, she's 112th in drive and accuracy. So that has me a little nervous, as well as her GIR percentage is also, GIR rank is 112 too, so she's not hitting as many greens. But if she can find a way to hit the green, her putting is going to obviously save her to give her victorious. But obviously, she's a fun person, amazing person. Hope that gluten allergy gets figured out. And her round 1 scoring average has to get better too. She's averaging 72.5, which to me is amazing. But to win majors, we gotta get that better. But as the week progresses, she gets better, and that number goes down lower and lower and lower. So love to see Angel Wynn get her 3rd overall victory on the LPGA Tour, excuse me. And again, just hope the allergies don't affect her. So that's my take.
Nice. I'm going to go Charlie Hull. I'm going to go for another hot babe.
Hey, Emma, I love you. I
just
hate
feel
that pick.
like
I hate that pick. I've kind of, and I'm talking strictly sport. I don't know Charlie. Charlie's amazing,
Okay.
but for golf, I think she's very overrated. This year, I really
That
do.
should have-
And maybe
that
that's my
is-
hot take.
'Cause she
Maybe
was
that
ranked
is my
third in the
hot
It's a
world
take.
hot take.
earlier
Yeah.
this year.
I like
you
it
don't know.
She-
Yeah.
because of LET though. I don't see her killing it on
No.
LPGA.
What
She
about
has
Hannah
2 top
Green,
10s
though?
this
What
year,
about
and she
Hannah
has like
Green,
4
though?
missed cuts.
Excuse me? And like the British Open, she always plays well in majors.
Well, so my response to Hannah Green,
Fair,
Hannah Green
fair.
is transitioning well to LPGA. Charlie is not. Charlie is
That
not.
is the craziest
Hey,
thing I've ever heard. She's already won.
No,
How
not
can
this
you
year.
be
Not
a
this year.
winner on-
Not
yeah,
this
but how
year.
can you be at the end of last year? Whoop-de-doo, 6 months ago.
Oh, man.
Okay. I guess I would say, well, this is what I say. I guess the notoriety and the hype she gets
Mhm.
is more than
That's
what
fair.
Hannah Green's getting, who's playing better golf. So that's my
just
issue.
because okay, that's fair. But that wasn't the question. The question was, do I think she has the game to win at Red?
No, you do,
And
and
I
that's
do.
and you do, and I think she's overrated. But that's just sports talk. She can go out there.
No,
She can go out there and prove me wrong. And like I said about Jordan
She
Spieth, I'll
ain't.
come on here, and I'll say, "Hey, Charlie Hill, I apologize for
okay, I have a
misdiagnosing your game."
question. Do y'all
No,
have your
but I-
stats pulled up? Because I don't have mine. But like her putting is
I'll look it up. But I think
You wanna
Charlie
look it up? You want me to look it
Hull,
up?
like, was it the U.S.
Look it
Open
up.
last year or 2 years ago?
she's
But she, like, her putting
British
started
Open
to
and
fall
US
apart,
Open.
like, that last, down the stretch. And I just, yeah, and I'm just like,
and I got
the
mad.
British.
And I got mad last year because she was
I just think
rushing
that's
Lexi at the U.S. Open. I was like, bro, stop it. I was getting mad because I like Lexi.
I
just
love
think that's
Lexi,
what's-
but
that's what's
come
gonna
on,
happen with-
girl.
Man, it's the
with
U.S.
I think
these
she's down the
conditions are
stretch,
tough.
It's gonna. So she's 41st in strokes gained putting. Say,
Oh, that should
41
be
is
better. I
actually
have to admit,
solid.
I thought
That's
she was
like
better.
Cam Young.
I thought
Probably
she was
in the
like
gr-
top
it's probably in the
for
green. It's
sure.
probably in the
She's
green. It's probably in the green
1.35.
for
So
sure.
like, but that's like,
Yeah.
I think Cam Young is ranked right around there in strokes gained putting, and he's won twice this year, right? Yeah, players and yeah.
Yes.
Charlie's gonna hate me.
This is one thing I love about Charlie's game. She
Please.
is a dog. Like she's an
She is.
athlete.
She is.
And she always plays well at majors. And I think the reason she plays well at majors is because if she has one bad hole, it is totally out of her picture. And I think a lot of people, they get hung up at US Opens
gonna
because
have
it's
it,
like,
yeah.
crap, I just made a double. I got to make up for it. Yeah, and you're going to make mistakes. And I think she's so good at just like playing the next shot, playing the next hole. She's so good mentally, and I think that's why I like her game.
I was golfing
at
with Jeremy
majors.
yesterday. I'm like, Jeremy,
I
you're
love
like,
it. I love
that's Jeremy. Like he'll hit it and be like, I'm just gonna punch out, and I'm like, dude, if I hit it in the desert, I'm saving par.
Basically going for the hero
No
shot.
one remembers the guy that got a bogey, but yeah,
I'm like, hey, I'm playing for bogey, man.
yeah. Or like
I'm
if
not
I hit it
gonna
in the
try to
water, I'm like,
make
I'm not gonna
anything
be
worse.
like. So if you hit it short on the water, you know, you have like a longer approach. I'm like, dude, I'm going to take that approach and make it a dangerous approach, you know? But Jeremy will play his game and yeah.
Yeah.
So That's like
I'm just trying
Jeremy,
to
you're like
break
Charlie
80,
Hole. I
man.
don't
I'm
know
trying
why
to
you're such
break
a
80.
hater.
Hey,
I
Charlie,
know
if
you
you
need to go. You need to
yeah,
go look her up some more, and like we need to. I'm gonna throw you some stats at like 11 o'clock while
please,
baby's finally asleep.
please, and again, everyone who listens, I'm okay with humility. Prove me wrong. If Charlie goes out here and finishes top
I
5,
don't think
I'm
it's.
like, hey, Charlie, good job. You shut me up, and I will take that. I will take it. But I'm
I
gonna
think the
stick with what I
top 5
said
is
right
not far
now until
fetched
it
at all. I
happens.
think she's
Okay.
gonna play her way like in there, and then if she's like winning or like about to win,
She is literally
I know, but like
always
I
in the
think it
top
was
10
she
every time
was
she
like
plays.
a stroke off the lead at the British Open, and it was like, dude, if she and I remember there was a putt on like 15 or 16, and it was just like a 10-footer, maybe 15-footer, and it like didn't even hit the hole. Like she putted, and she just stood up, and I was like, dude, like if she could but then again, it's a different year, it's a different tournament, it's a different course. If she dials in that putting, I think she's gonna contend. So
Hey, so
Thank you.
her last 2 years. Last year she got T12. The year
oh,
before she got T19.
Emma,
That's
to
how
your
she
point,
finished
she's
the last
dropped
2 years.
28 spots in strokes gained putting, it says. So she was like in the top 15-ish.
Yeah, she's such a good putter.
That
Yeah.
ShopRite probably
That's so
heard her 'cause
good.
she missed the cut this week.
Yeah.
Again, and people who listen,
Yes,
that doesn't mean
yes.
I
We're
want
fans
that
of
for her.
everybody.
Please, I do not want that for her. But that's just I don't want any. Yeah, I never want anybody to think like, oh, you rooting for. I'm not rooting for a downfall. I don't care who wins. Like, good drop. You've earned it. But I'm still sticking with my take right there. So there we go. Who said?
Yeah,
So is it back on Nate? Who said Charlie
all
Hole?
right,
Oh, Emma
third
did. So
pick.
yeah, now it's back on
Me.
Nate.
So
For the third
I
person,
had to
yeah.
go with a big name because it's not a dark horse. So I'm going to go with Lydia Ko. She's ninth
That's who I
in
got too.
strokes
So
gained
go ahead.
total, inside the top 40 for like every category, has the distance. And she's shown that she can go super low earlier this year. I just think you don't need to go super low in USGA conditions. So, I'm just hoping
USGA,
like she
yeah.
can have a good day
Yeah.
and then just shoot around even the rest of the time, and that might do it for a USGA tournament.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. My only thing with her too, man, is because I have her as well. Fridays have not been her best in terms of scoring average, so I don't want her to be a threat of missing the cut. But also same significance I've said earlier about Nelly. If she does win, if Lydia wins, she has a career Grand Slam along with already being a Hall of Famer. I think this will be great for her resume. So I think she'll probably have a little bit more. I mean, I'm sure she's serious for every major. I know she missed the cut, the Chevron, but I think because you want to be in the category of the career Grand Slam, I think there's only been 7 LPGA players to complete that. She has the possibility of being 8. I think so. I could be wrong, but I think it's 7 when I looked it up because I knew she was close, and I remember they kept saying something about Nelly being close. I'm like, I thought she only had 2 because she got 2 Chevrons and the AIG women's. Oh no, KPMG. So yeah. So but no, in all, I have Lydia Ko too, and I just want her to play good on Friday. I think she just plays good on Friday. Doesn't teeter around the cut line. I think she can be very lethal going into Saturday and Sunday. On you, Emma.
What's my pick?
Yeah, we both had Lydia, so it was easy.
I am picking our recent winner, Céline Boutier. And
Not
the
mad
reason
about that.
is she hits the fairways, y'all. Like she doesn't hit it super far, but she hits the fairways, and she's a great putter as well. Also, she's very confident at the moment, and I think that goes a long way. So, and she knows how to win. She's proven herself that
Yeah,
she
she
knows
won
how to
last
win.
year.
She's won several times on the LPGA Tour. She's I feel like she's also a little bit one of those players that doesn't get enough recognition sometimes, because she is a great player and has been for a long time and for several years now. So, I think sometimes those kind of players shine because there's not so much expectation and they're just playing their own game, and
That is
then all of
true.
a sudden they're winning.
I think that we can make that same case for Aaron. I'm saying we can make
dude,
that same case
so
for
I
Aaron
was gonna
Rod.
s-
Like no
I
one's
was gonna
expecting
say
Aaron Rod to win.
I'll say
and
this
he goes
almost
on
to
and
your point. I was
wins.
like, that's
Yeah.
the same recipe that JJ Spawn had when he won. It was like accurate fairway play, was putting really well, and had a lot of momentum
Mhm.
going into that tournament. So I don't think that's a bad pick at
Mhm.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has 8 career wins, man. So she's definitely, she knows how to win. She's capable of winning, and I think that's a
Mhm.
great pick, Emma. Great pick.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I do want to move over this. So every year we have some type of surprise performer. I mean, last year Maya Starks wins the Women's U.S. Open, getting her first win since 2022. Bailey Tardy stuck into the top 5 in 2023. She went to my high school. We didn't know each other, but I had to give her a shout out. And then someone we mentioned on our Gospel episode, Emma Didrikson. Hope I said that right.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yep.
won at 43 years old in 7 months, the oldest champ in the tournament. So with all that being said, who do you guys have as a possible surprise performer at the Women's U.S. Open? Give me one or two players.
Go for it. No.
One.
Go ahead, Emma.
Oh, sorry, Nate. I'm going to pick Jennifer Kupcho. And the reason is she's not really a dark horse.
Yeah.
Because she's won several times. She actually won. She's already won a major. That was her first win.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that she is a great person at majors as well. And I feel like she's kind of sneaky playing well. Not great, but I think it's putter for the most part. So if she can get her putter hot, she's a ball striker and she hits it far.
Yeah.
Which always is very helpful. And she hits her driver straight. Like when I tell y'all she hits it long and straight, it's powerful. I would put her and Nelly as two of the best drivers of the ball on the LPGA Tour.
I think her and Julius Ramirez too, who's one of the big hitters on the tour. And Allie gave her a shout out too because she went to Mississippi State. A little biased there, but Jen Kupcho, ranked 19 in driving distance. So yeah, she definitely hits the ball pretty far. Yeah, I agree with you.
No.
I'm still. Go ahead, Nate.
You're thinking like people who are way out of it, and I don't know if this girl counts, but I was gonna go with Patty Tavatanakit. Like she's playing real, but I don't know if she's like I don't know if she's like how dark of a dark horse she is. I mean, Jen Kupcho.
That's how I feel about Jen too.
Like, she's a guy, but a girl. But. Anyways, that was weird. But Patty is 10th in putting and around the green. And I think in USGA conditions, you have to be good around the green because they make it so that it's hard to hold these greens. So you're gonna have to kind of get used to missing greens. Mm-hmm. If you can get near a green in 2 on a par 5, like that's you want to be able to get up and down and convert that so you can. You can make up for the mistakes you're going to make because it's just open. You're going to make mistakes. So I think she's a dark horse.
I like that take, man. The take I have, and obviously Emma knows about winning national championships in college. So I'm going with the Texas win. I'm going with Farrah O'Keefe. She played really well at the Chevron. Was supposed to be the solo low am, but ended up missing a putt. End up tying low am. She finished here at the U.S. Open last year at T36, which is definitely a solid performance. And then this year at the Chevron, she finished T38. So just kind of having that major experience to just play well. Probably someone else you don't really think about. Might be a little bit more notoriety on her because she just won a national championship. But I think she could be one of those players that could surprise us. And another player I'm going to say, obviously being super biased, I'm just going to say Allie. I know she's obviously been out since 2024, but she retired when she was hot.
I would love to see her.
So there might be a little bit more left in the tank to surprise us.
She's great.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, when they retire, you kind of see like, they don't have anything in the tank. They've kind of digressed. And she was like, man, you know what? I just finished World 18, had the most top 10s ever. I'm done. So it might be it's a little bit more in there. She obviously played really well at Lancaster. I think she finished T3. That's what it was.
She loves the U.S. Open.
Yes. So, we had her on. Go ahead.
Also, just for that same hot take, almost all the moms that came back like the first time, they always play so good. Nicole Clarkson last week at ShopRite.
Yeah, I did see that.
She played great. She didn't have one good day, but she hasn't played in like a year and a half because she had a baby. Same thing. Yeah. Came back, played great. So I find that it's interesting because I think that there's a perspective change as well of like, oh, it's all good. I'm good. I'm just here to have fun. And
that's
all of a sudden that like takes you through, especially a major. It's like, this is really fun. I'm here for a good reason. My whole family's here. My baby's here. I'm in a good headspace. I'm just playing golf. Because, like, your body doesn't forget how to play golf. So I feel you. Allie Mack all the way.
Does.
Well, Allie Ewing, sorry. Or maybe
McDonald. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I was going to try to go to the U.S. Open, man, but finding housing there is so expensive. And I'm so removed from football. None of my teammates live in L.A. anymore. So it's like, I wasn't about to get an $800 Airbnb for 2 days and spend $1,600. So I'm gonna just watch from the comfort of my living room. But very excited to watch the Women's U.S. Open. I know it's the same week as Memorial. I might be favoring the Women's U.S. Open, but please let us know your thoughts in the comments. Emma, once again, thank you for coming on and breaking down the Women's U.S. Open with us. We look forward to seeing you again at the KPMG, probably in about 2 or 3 weeks, man. We enjoy you coming back on here to talk about major golf with us. And again, congrats on everything going on in West Kentucky.
Hey, bro,
Tops on top. Thanks for coming on.
Tops on top.
Hey, that's what you bleed. That's what you really bleed. Absolutely. All right, I'll see you, Emma.
Bye, guys.
See you. Again, the homie Emma Talley, man. Great person, man. It's fun to have her on, man.
Dude.
We need Emma on as a regular. Just to come on, take 20 minutes. Yeah, come on for 20 minutes. Just break down some women's golf. The people are tired of hearing our voice and whatnot, man. But again, please like and subscribe. But if you've been here before, the name of the channel is obviously Golf and Gospel Podcast. We're going to talk a lot of golf, man, and thorough detail about golf. But, the most important thing to me and Nate is indeed the gospel and how the gospel can impact your life. And we hope that people come to garner a relationship with Christ, or even just have questions about, what's this Jesus thing y'all keep talking about? And we want to have a continuation of what we talked about last week in regards to what is the gospel and the components of that and how to share it.
Yeah.
So Nate, I'll let you take it from here.
It was just all inspired by this membership class, but I think it's a really important question. And I also think like Jesus commands us to take up a cross daily and follow after him. And exactly, Luke 9:23.
Luke 9:23.
Part of me thinks a component of that has to do with like, hey, preach the gospel to yourself every day. And when I was in SCA, we learned that like, hey, the gospel there's like 4 main components, and people will chunk it up in like 7 components. I think propaganda does that with his like little spoken word stuff, but anyways, in FCA there's like 4 components. We go God, man, Christ, response. And this week, I think just to keep it brief, we'll just go over like who God is. And I think it's more or less a challenge to our listeners is like,
love it.
Do you know God? Meaning, do you know him beyond like, I might know who Tom Brady is. I can name his stats. I can name how many yards he has, that kind of stuff. But I don't know Tom Brady. And I just want to challenge to our listeners, like, do you know God? Because God knows you. And we can know a lot about him. And I think we should. We should. I mean, it's like, I know a lot about Jeremy, like I know Jeremy's stats. I know his golf game, but also I'm like, this Jeremy's like this. Yeah. I can describe who Jeremy is, and yeah, I think that's just like a challenge to our listeners. Like, do we know who God is?
Yeah.
Both on the side of like, hey, we can list God's stats, and the other side is, hey, do we actually like know God? Is he in our lives? Is he guiding our decisions? That kind of stuff. What are your thoughts?
I want to have a take on that with you, Nate. I thought that was great, bro, because I think sometimes we can get too, we can let our intelligence or our knowledge of the gospel or our knowledge of God be in replacement of actually know him. Like, or I can sit here and be like, oh yeah, God's the creator, God's all knowing, but like, do I spend intimate time getting to like know him and dwelling with him and not necessarily just kind of knowing these facts about God? Those are 2 totally different things. I love that Tom Brady analogy. We could be like, oh yeah, Tom Brady got 7 Super Bowls, I know he went to Michigan and stuff like that. But do you know him? Like, have you fellowship? Have you, I say it's respectful for people got weird minds. Have you been intimate, with Tom Brady to like know, like I've really sat down with him and got to know him? And it's the same question. Like, are we genuinely trying to be intimate with the Lord, or we just want to know like facts about the Lord that sound good, but we have actually no relationship with him? I think that was great. And I just wanted to back you up on that.
Thank you. Yeah. But another thing too is like, I think we have to know what it means when we say like God is holy. Like, what does that mean? He can't be in the presence of sin. God is just, like if we wrong God, there has to be a punishment laid out. There has to be due process or whatever, like God is just. And granted, like due process is just
Mm-hmm.
human definition of justice, but God is
Yeah.
all just, and it's just those things. I think I want to challenge listeners
Yeah.
to really examine their faith and be like, "Well, do I actually know what it means that God is holy? When I sing these worship songs, like "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty," like what does that
Mm-hmm.
really mean? And what does that mean to us in our lives? Like we are unholy, and we approach this holy God. What does that mean? And this holy God is reaching out to us and trying to write our story and looking out for us and loves us. What does that mean to you? You know? So, um, yeah, I more or less want to pose challenges for our listeners, and have them like look it within their hearts and dive deep into what all those things mean. So,
I want to look at this verse real quick too, man, because you just triggered me here. So look at Philippians 3:9-10. It says, "And be found in him, not having a righteousness of my own that comes from the law, but that which comes through faith in Christ, the righteousness from God that depends on faith." Verse 10 is what's important. "That I may know him in the power of his resurrection and may share in his suffering, becoming like him in his death." And I think the key thing in there is obviously the resurrection is the most important thing in there. But like he says that I may know him, like actually know him. And that's why, like we said, to challenge each other to make sure that we actually know Christ. And today our sermon was kind of, has some components of that too. More so is what our pastor was talking about. It's like if we had this relationship with the Lord, do we have the boldness to proclaim the Lord when there's a risk involved? A lot of us, when things are going good, we can gladly like, oh, God is so good, boom, boom, boom. But like when things are at risk, like when you can lose maybe a partnership in terms of like a brand deal, or, there's a possibility that you may get canceled or whatever it may be. Are you willing to boldly talk about Jesus when there's a risk? Like, okay, like if we win a national championship, so easy to boast to him. No risk in that. Everyone's more so distracted by the win that they don't care what you say. So, oh yeah, God is good. He's awesome. But when you lose, is it worth the risk in talking about the Lord? Because I remember this always kind of impacted me. I hate that I'm blanking on his name, but quarterback for the Texas Longhorns, probably back in like
Colt
2008.
McCoy.
He was a backup for the Cardinals for a long time. You should know
Mm,
this, Nate. Colt McCoy, like the first drive, mess up his shoulder
yep,
out of the game,
I
national
remember that.
championship,
Yeah.
and they had to put in the backup. And I remember the camera went in front of him, and he chose to boldly proclaim who God is and his goodness, despite getting out at the national championship game. We don't see that too often. And I would say also the opportunity for the camera to be put in front of you when
Mm,
you lose is very rare too, because it's like, man, we want to just go to the winner. So I love that he took the opportunity to boldly claim who Christ was, even in a loss. But that's another thing where I challenged, like, if you say you're a mature Christian, are you willing to boldly talk about Jesus if there's a risk? That is really something to think about, because we tend to want to avoid that because it's like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble with my job. And I'm not trying to say set yourself up for failure, but let's say an opportunity is presented there and it's like, what are you going to do in that case? Are you going to stand firm in your foundation in the gospel? Or it's like, oh, I'm going to try to play both sides because I just want to be. And I hate to say this, maybe I get pushed back. I don't know. I've met a lot of golf creators that say they love Jesus, but they don't like the risk of speaking about him because of what may come with talking about Jesus. Or I might lose my Titleist deal, or I might lose viewership. And it's like, man, what is your foundation built on? The audience of your golf brand and sponsorships, or is it built on the foundation of the gospel? And obviously, I'm not saying you have to be as evangelical as I am on my channel by any means. My channel is an outlier, but when that opportunity presents itself, do you shy away for that for the sake of the brand partnerships, or do you say, man, Christ is such an important foundation for
yeah.
me, like I'm okay taking that risk?
Yeah, I'm
That's
curious
something
to
else just to
think because,
challenge the
like,
listeners and
looking
myself.
within, I feel like, granted, I don't have a family or anything like that, but I'm like, if I had a family, would I? Yeah, no, I mean, like, if I had like someone
You got Aaron.
dependent on me, like,
I know
is
you
it
understand. Yeah,
totally
yeah,
biblical or
yeah.
godly to like, all right, I'm gonna like go. I mean, I like it's hard to ask the question, but like die for proclaim the gospel and then like forsake my family, or like, I'm curious what you think, or like if you have any thoughts like that. It's like if I lose my or something, like I lose my job or
Well, I
something
just
like
feel
that.
like,
You know what I'm saying?
well, I know in Ephesians 5, when it talks about like the husbands, laying down their life for their wife. So there is a component like, well, yeah, like for the sake of my family, I am willing to lay down my life,
But I'm saying, like, if
for
you
my wife.
proclaim the
And I think
gospel and then
also,
lose your life, so then now you can't
go
provide.
ahead.
Granted, I think the Lord will provide if you do. Yeah,
Well,
but
he
I
will
just think,
provide.
like,
I do agree with that.
yeah,
It's
and
just
again,
hard
it's
to say in
hypothetical.
this.
We live
Go
in
ahead,
the
go ahead, go
United
ahead.
States. We're probably not going to get persecuted, besides socially, like, which beyond socially,
Could.
I think in our
Yeah,
lifetime at
yeah,
least, so it's like, yeah,
yeah,
we might lose some social status
yeah,
for proclaiming the gospel, especially very publicly. But
yeah.
like, it's easy to be like, I'll
Mm-hmm.
give that up, but like if it's like something like life or death, and you are a provider and you
Mm,
are human, like,
yeah.
think of my family, that kind of stuff. It's like
Mm,
it's hard, you know.
yeah.
Um, I'm not trying to defend it. I'm not trying to
Yeah. It
defend it.
no,
Yeah,
no, yeah, no one's saying it's well in that. No, no, I know you're not. I think in that scenario, it's very hard because when I talk about like this brand partnership and stuff like that, that's easy. Like, man, Jesus Lord, bro. But like, I think if you have a partner who's built
yeah,
in that same foundation, they're going to understand. Like, they'll probably say, I would have did the same thing, and then just trusting in the Lord's provision to provide. I believe two main verses that talk about that is Ephesians 3:20, which when before we started this podcast we prayed over, is He can do far more abundant than anything that we ask for or believe in. Like He definitely can. And also in I can't remember this one by heart. I know it's Philippians 4:19, but let me 10, and my God will supply all your needs according to the riches of glory in Christ Jesus. So I think if it's a situation where like we proclaimed Him and then the risk was like losing a job or something that can hinder providing for our family, I really believe that He's gonna provide for us. And it's like one of those things too. I can't remember where it's in scripture too, but it's like essentially in paraphrasing, like if you deny me to man, then I'm going to deny you to my Father, and I'm not willing
yeah,
to risk being denied, in front of the Father
yeah.
because I'm
Do
just
you
trying to
do you
appease
think that
man.
part of me is also like that sin
So
can be
yeah,
forgiven? Because like, look at Peter, But granted, he ended up dying, but he ended up.
oh, he
But
denied
then
him
at the
three
end of the day,
times.
he ended
Yeah,
up dying for
yeah,
Jesus, and he died in proclaiming Him. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It can. Maybe that's the point too. Maybe if we do that
yeah.
and we don't have a
Like, I for
repentant heart from
sure,
it,
if I
you know what I'm saying?
ah,
Yeah.
God, please don't let this ever happen to me. But like, yeah, please don't,
Don't test me with
test
this.
me with
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I know. I've
Especially
been
I'm
saying that
saying this,
too. No, I swear.
especially
I've been
because I'm
saying,
saying this on the
yeah. Don't
internet. But
test me
it's
with
like,
this, please.
if I ever was
Yeah,
in that situation, like,
yeah.
I know I would feel bad if I denied Jesus. Like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
my whole like, and like, just think about like
Can't believe I did
young
that.
Nate would have been so disappointed too. Like, that's like the thing, you never want to disappoint your childhood self, And I've been like, young Nate would have been so disappointed. But I
Yeah. You know what I also think about that situation too is I I think because that was part of like the Lord's executive
mhm,
will, like that had to happen because that was a part of the plan for him to obviously be crucified, and I think that moment had to happen. I don't know if there was a situation. I mean, we have the free will, but this is what my boy KB said. There you have the Lord's prescriptive will and His executive will. Executive will is like this thing is not going to change no matter what, and then prescriptive will is almost like you kind of can like change
yeah,
it and the
yeah,
Lord can adapt it to still fit a specific will. But I think Peter denying, and you guys can correct me in the comments, I think Peter denying, Christ three times was a part
yeah.
of the Lord's executive
I
will. Like
think
that
so too.
had to happen.
I mean,
Like
I think
that
a
was
lot.
part of it no matter what.
Yeah, I think.
Kind of like with Judas. Because I always kind of feel bad, like, dang, could Judas just say, like, no, man, and been to him? But like that was part of the executive will.
Yeah,
Like
and I
he
feel like
had
this is
to
another discussion
betray
for another
Jesus.
time. But it's like, did God just? And I think about, like, I remember I had this discussion on
For sure, for
SCA.
sure, for
It's
sure.
like when Pharaoh was stubborn and God hardened his heart. I was like, did God create him just
Okay, yeah. I knew you were
to
gonna say that,
be a
yeah.
story in the Bible? And and it's got, yeah, go for it.
Can I respond to that? Yeah. So again, and shout out to KB, man. I wish me and him were still close. Because a lot of these things I just learned from him when he discipled me. But you know, it wasn't necessarily like the Lord was like, yeah, I'm going to make you do this. But it's like what it says in Romans 1, I'm going to give you up to your passions that you so choose to. And you're going to see that like, this is not like the right decision. So like, Pharaoh, you want to be stubborn? I will let you have it. I will harden your heart because that is what you want. And same thing with Judas. Like, if that's what you, and again, maybe there's some debate with this one. I know for sure with the Pharaoh one, it's like, I'm giving you to what you want. But Judas, like, man, if you really want to have this infatuation and love for money, I will let you have this infatuation, and you're just going to see that there's no true fruits that come from it. So I don't think the Lord is like in heaven being like, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice this dude's, soul to fulfill like this to happen. I think it's like, if you really want to be this way, I'll let you have it this way.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Lord wants people to be evil. You know what I'm saying? But Pharaoh just wanted all this power. He wanted to be king. And like it says in Romans 1, he gave them up to their passions.
I like what you
and
said
that's what
too
the
about like
outcome
the
was.
executive will and the prescriptive will. Like I almost think of like Google Maps, or like, if you're driving and it's like, oh, I'm gonna take a left here because I want to. Like Google will redirect you, and I feel like that's like God like adjusting your life. Is like, this is my plan for you. Yeah, like
His
you're
will
gonna
is
hit this
ultimately gonna be
destination,
fulfilled.
but if you redirect, like I'm gonna bump you back on path, And I think that happens like in my life all the time. It's like I wanted to do this, I want to do this, and then the Lord bumped me back into the path He wants me to be on, But yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And I think there were some similarities too when we think about the Israelites. Like, again, it was supposed to take them 2 weeks to get to the promised land. Due to their disobedience and stuff, end up taking 40 years. That promise still was fulfilled, but due to us wanting to reroute and do our own thing, it just took longer. So when you take that left, when you could have been there in 10 minutes, and now it takes 22 minutes, still got to that destination. However, you put yourself on the worst path trying to go with your own desires as opposed to what the Lord has called you to. So that was a good take. Did you
not
have any
really.
more
I
components
did
you wanted
want
to
to just
go
end
over?
with this verse in Matthew where it's talking about like knowing God,
go ahead. Yeah.
and it's like, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of the Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do all these mighty works in your name? And then I'll declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. So I feel like that's one of those things. Like, how do we separate ourselves from non-believers? It's like we do everything in love, and if we know God and know who He is and have actually experienced His love for us, and we know, like, dude, God is holy and He still loves us. How much more gracious will we be to um, the people in our lives? And today's sermon was about entitlement. It's like, how less entitled will we be in our workplace and stuff like that. So anyways, that's just like what I want to end on, and our challenge to our listeners.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Hey, guys, we appreciate you listening to this episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast. Again, shout out to our homie Emma Talley. We'll get her back on for the KPMG.
She was awesome.
I thought that was fun. We had some arguments in there, man. And again, she's awesome, man. Respectful arguments and stuff, debates, man. But please like and subscribe, man. Again, comment. We begin some views. Like our Jordan Spieth one did very well. Continue to support us, man. Again, if we're not doing good, let us know, man. Like, don't just let us sit here and continue to do bad. Help us improve and get better. And man, we'll see you guys on the next episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast after the Memorial, which is gonna be fun.
Peace.
After the Women's U.S. Open. Peace.